don't even know if a sit down can actually restore the situation. It's just more so it's an olive branch. Like if you up for it, I'm up for it. I'm definitely willing to sit down with him and so I can hear his perspective and gain a little bit of understanding. I mean, like, we're both men at the end of the day.
I don't think the relationship works. For a long time, Charlie, man, I went running behind him. I went places that he went, and he left the place.
Who told you was special?
You know that old saying about the apple not falling far from the tree? Yeah, well, Marquise Jackson, 50 Cent's son, is living proof of it. He just dove headfirst into the wild drama between his dad and Big Meech, and he's stirring things up like crazy. Marquise is trolling his own father online like he's part of the beef himself, and from what's being said, 50 Cent is not having it. Word on the street is that he warned his son to stay out of the mess or risk getting caught in the fire. Meanwhile, Big Meech's son, Lil Meech, has been sliding into 50's DMs, practically begging him to believe that he's loyal and his dad ain't no snitch. It's getting messier by the second. Is 50 Cent really going at his own kid just to protect his street war? And does Lil Meech seriously think that calling 50 loyal and being all polite is gonna make him back down? Please. Now this beef has officially hit a whole new level because the sons are stepping into the ring.
You thought you were special. You really thought you were special. Who told you were special?
What started as just tension between two big names is now turning into a full-blown family versus family feud. And the way things are heating up, it looks like this could be a generational war with no mercy. Here's the crazy part. 50 Cent and Big Meech used to be tight. Like, not just friends, but business partners too. But we all know how fast loyalty disappears when big money's involved. Betrayal hits harder when it comes from the people closest to you. And in this case, it's looking real shady. It all started spiraling when Big Meech linked up with Rick Ross for a flashy welcome home concert set for February 13th, 2025. Fresh out the pen after nearly 2 decades locked up, Big Meech came back ready to celebrate. Before he went behind bars, Meech, real name Demetrius Flannery, ran one of the most feared crime crews in the country. He and his brother Terry, Southwest T. Flannery, built the Black Mafia family, a massive drug and money laundering empire that had everybody watching. The Black Mafia family ran wild from the 80s all the way into the early 2000s. They weren't just deep in the streets, they even dipped into the music scene like they were untouchable. But everything crashed in 2005 when the DEA and FBI pulled up hard, raiding BMF safe houses like it was a movie scene. They snatched up everything, millions in dirty cash, guns, and a whole lot of heat. Top dogs in the crew were rounded up, including Big Meech and his brother Southwest T. The charges, heavy stuff. They got slapped with conspiracy to move 5 kilos or more, possession with intent to distribute over 500 grams, laundering money, and 2 more counts of pushing 5 kilos plus. By 2008, after a long and loud trial, both brothers got hit with 30-year sentences. That's 3 full decades behind bars. According to reports, the Flannery brothers had pulled in over $270 million from their operations before the law came crashing in. But in the end, they lost it all. Whatever cash Meech had left after the feds cleaned house was probably drained by lawyers and holding down his people while he sat in prison for years. So what's the first thing he does after stepping out of that cell? He links up with Rick Ross to throw a welcome home concert, trying to stack up some quick cash while waiting on his cut from the next season of the BMF series. Now, if you didn't know, the Black Mafia Family show is based on the real-life story of Big Meech and Southwest T. The wild part? Big Meech's son, Demetrius Flannery Jr., aka Lil Meech, plays his own dad in the show. Meanwhile, Haitian-American actor Da Vinci plays Southwest T. And guess who's calling the shots behind the scenes? 50 Cent! Yeah, he's the executive producer of the whole thing. So not only is he telling the story, he's running the money behind it too. This makes the tension between him and the Flannerys even messier. G-Unit Films, 50 Cent's own production company, is one of the powerhouses behind the BMF series. But there's another big name tied to the project, Tammy Cowens. She's the woman who bought Big Meech's life rights, and she's co-producing the whole thing. The contract details, still under wraps. But word is Meech is supposed to get a piece of the pie from the series' profits. Problem is, the next season doesn't even have a release date yet, so no money's rolling in for Meech anytime soon. That explains why he jumped on that concert collab with Rick Ross. He's got to get the bag somehow. But 50 Cent, he saw it completely different. To him, Big Meech chillin' with Rick Ross was straight up betrayal. And here's why. It all goes back to Ross's past. He used to be a correctional officer, and 50's never let him live that down. In the 50's eyes, Ross is still Officer Ricky to this day. So when 50 saw Meech smiling and linking up with Rick Ross, he lost it. He hopped on Instagram and called Meech a rat, saying the biggest mistake he ever made was not sustaining his relationship with Tammy Cowens. That's wild. Then he doubled down again, posting a pic that read, "The truth and nothing but the truth, BMF. Who is Tammy Cowens?" And he didn't stop there. He added in the caption, "This is gonna blow your mind. Dr. You coming soon. The facts are stranger than fiction." Boom! Fans were left spinning. Like, what was he talking about? What was this documentary about to expose? And who really is Tammy Cowens? All roads lead back to one big question. How did Big Meech, who got slapped with 30 years in prison back in 2008, suddenly pop out earlier than expected? People were already whispering, but now those rumors started getting loud and messy. Rumors started flying that Big Meech might have cut a secret deal with the feds to get out early, and people aren't taking it lightly. Word on the street is, it was Tammy Cowens, the same woman co-producing the BMF series, who helped him seal the deal behind closed doors. The alleged catch? In exchange for freedom, Meech had to line someone else up for the feds. And guess who he reportedly chose? His longtime friend and partner in the game, St. Louis drug kingpin Diane Gatling, better known on the streets as Cuffy. This wasn't just some business connection. These two were tight. Families knew each other. Big Meech was basically like an uncle to Cuffy's daughter, Tamara Gatling. So when Tamara came forward to confirm that Meech had lined up her father, that shook everyone. According to Tamara, the betrayal hit deep. Her whole family was heartbroken and her father was crushed, knowing someone he trusted set him up. But she didn't stop there. She dropped another bomb, saying Meech didn't do it alone. She claimed federal informant Tammy Cowens and someone named Rick Galeen were part of the setup too.
Rick Gatling, I'm making this recording in regards to my dad. He's Dion Gatling. Most people know him as Cuffy. But I wanted to make this recording so I can shed light on some facts. My dad was set up by one of his best friends, which is Demetrius Flannery, also known as Big Meech. My dad and Meech have been friends for 30 years plus. I've known Meech my whole life. I look at him like an uncle. Like, this situation has been completely devastating on so many different levels, and there's still so many questions that aren't answered. At this point, I can only shed light on what I know for sure to be facts, and hopefully one day I will have the complete truth. But in 2011, around that time, Meech reached out to my dad in regards to creating a BMF movie.
Now it's all making sense why 50 Cent's been going off. From his view, Meech keeps saying he's loyal, but keeps showing up beside people who've worked with the government. First Tammy, now Rick Ross, who used to be a correctional officer. That was enough for 50 to pull the plug.
So Meech hooked my dad up with a woman named Tammy Cowens. At the time, Tammy was Meech's power of attorney. Also, she owned the life rights. So my dad was working with Meech, Tammy, T, basically trying to work on a movie. Finally arrested my dad and we received the discovery. He knew exactly who CS1 was, and he told me and my mom that it was Tammy Cowens. At that time, we really did not want to believe. We wanted to give Meech the benefit of the doubt. It was really, really hard to believe that Meech would set my dad up. It was almost unbelievable. So we were able to reach out, get a message to Meech, and basically let him know that Tammy was an informant. We later received a message from him saying that it had to be a misunderstanding. Just call her, she'll straighten this out, so on, so on. And at this time, my dad was like, I'm not dumb. I'm not about to call.
Out of nowhere, 50 stunned fans by announcing the BMF series was done. No new season. He even posted screenshots of texts from Lil Meech, who was clearly scrambling to defend his father. The caption? What next season title? In the messages, Lil Meech was pleading with 50, saying the collab with Rick Ross wasn't betrayal. It was about survival. He told 50, "They just told me you unfollowed me on Instagram. And now you managing Skilla, baby? I introduced you to him when you didn't even know who he was. Now you mad at me? I'd give you the shirt off my back, man. I've only ever showed love and loyalty." Whew! It's getting personal real fast. I'm human. I go through my own ish, but I never switched up on you, F. Ross. He just gave my dad some bread so he could keep up with the bills till our next season drops. This internet stuff is messing with me, man. You know me in real life. That's what Lil Meech said, pouring his heart out to 50. But before he could even catch a break, boom, 50 Cent's own son, Marquise Jackson, jumped in and trolled him hard. He clowned Lil Meech like he was acting all special just for defending his dad. Talk about messy.
I woke up today and I had this overwhelming thought in my head, and I think like something is telling me to tell y'all or share this message with y'all. Cause I feel like it's somebody out here, or maybe it's just a bunch of people out here that need to hear this. And it was like,
You thought you was special. You really thought you was special. Who told you you was?
But behind the scenes, people are saying 50 wasn't amused by Marcus joining the drama. Rumor is he warned his son straight up, stay out of my fights or deal with the fallout. And with their shaky history, this just added more tension to the mix. Truth is, 50 and Marquis haven't been cool for a long time. Let's keep it real. 50 didn't raise him. Marquis grew up with his mom, Shaniqua Tompkins, after she and 50 split. What followed was a nasty custody battle that dragged all the way to 2008, and it only got uglier from there. Back then, 50 told MTV his bond with his son was falling apart, mostly because he and Shaniqua weren't on speaking terms anymore. He said, "There's different channels I have to go through. He has lawyers appointed through the court, so I gotta talk to his lawyers to get things situated, even just to see him." Then he hit fans with a line that said everything. "The relationship between my wallet and his mom has changed. When people got expensive habits, it's a rough transition when the money stops flowing." Oof. According to 50, his ex dragged his name through the mud, saying stuff he never expected. And because of all that bad blood with Shaniqua, he started looking at his own son sideways too. He saw them both as ungrateful and all about the money. Even though the court gave 50 visitation rights, he was only allowed to see Marquise one weekend a month. That strained setup mixed with years of beef turned their bond cold. So when Marquise jumped into the Lil Meech drama, it hit a nerve fast. Marquise was supposed to split holidays and vacations with his mom, but over time even that got pushed aside. A source later told People magazine that while 50 Cent supported his son financially until he turned 18, they've been estranged for years. The bond broken badly. Marquis has opened up about the pain too. In a 2017 interview with Wrap Up, he got real about how things went downhill. He said the relationship with his dad fell apart when he was around 10 or 11. He looked up to 50 like a superhero. He was famous on TV, doing big things. But as he got older, Marquis said he started noticing stuff, patterns, and those realizations slowly changed everything. The hardest part? He said, "I can't tell you the last time we even had a real conversation. No dialogue, no connection, just silence." Then came the moment that shook fans. In 2018, 50 commented on a photo of Marquis and the son of Kenneth Supreme McGriff, 50's longtime enemy. His comment? "If both these little dudes got hit by a bus, I wouldn't have a bad day." That line sent social media into meltdown. Even for someone like 50, known for being savage online, that comment felt cold. Way too far. People were stunned. But sources claim Marquis wasn't innocent in the situation either. They said he's got a habit of poking at 50 on purpose, especially when 50 is already beefing with someone. One insider claimed, anytime 50's got a problem with someone on the internet, Marquis finds that person and posts about them, just to get under his dad's skin. Still, things hit a new emotional low in October 2022. Marquise made a post offering to pay his own dad $6,700, the same amount 50 used to pay in child support for just 24 hours of his time. He wrote, "Since y'all think $6,700 is so much money, someone tell my pops I'll pay him $6,700 for just 24 hours of his time, so we can do everything I ever wanted to do with him as a kid." That post hit different. Fans saw it for what it was, a cry for help. Marquise wasn't chasing clout, he just wanted time, a relationship, a chance. But 50 never responded.
I don't even know if a sit down can actually restore the situation. It's just more so it's an olive branch. Like, if you up for it, I'm up for it. I'm definitely willing to sit down with him and so I can hear his perspective and gain a little bit of understanding. I mean, like, we're both men at the end of the day. We should be able to agree and disagree and it not be a problem. He believes that, from his perspective, he thinks I'm entitled when that's not the case. Like, it's never been about the money for me. It's more so the relationship and for me personally, it's more so for the relationship more than the money to me, because if it's about the money, then I'm willing to put it up to make at least make the situation a little bit better if possible. Honestly, I don't know what to expect from the situation. If we do have a sit down, I don't necessarily know what to expect or what it looks like. But if it takes me paying him for his time, I'm more than willing to do that. Maybe we could just gain understanding of each other. Maybe we could understand each other a little bit better. Maybe that's what a better...
50 Cent finally broke his silence on all the drama during an interview on The Breakfast Club. And what he said? Cold. He straight up admitted there was no point in trying to fix things with his son because, in his eyes, the relationship was beyond saving.
Your son wants to sit down with you.
No, he doesn't. See, Charlamagne, you would call me. You don't call TMZ to say you want to sit down. Think about it, man. You know, you want some attention. And it's okay, you can have as much of that as you want. You know, it's just like he's been trained to believe what you seen him say in that interview, that what he was saying, he's been trained to believe that for a long time, bro. Like, you don't just wake up and say, oh, well, I don't believe what I've been believing forever. You know what I mean? Like, when I said that he's entitled, really, it's his mom's entitlement. It's been filtered. $1 million, right? And they have zero respect for you. How much you think you got to give them before they have a little bit?
Damn. Damn.
See what I'm saying? It's not gonna, the relationship, I don't think that works.
Damn. So you would never be open to it?
No, I don't think the relationship works. Look, for a long time, Charlamagne, I went running behind him. I went places that he went, and he left the place. You see what I'm saying? And then I went to, even the text messages that was out. If y'all get a chance to look at them, that's me talking to his mother, because his mother's texting me through his phone. You see what I'm saying? So I said the thing that I said, knowing that this is her responding to me. And it looks a little rough for what I'm saying to him, but it's the circumstances of, what's the penalty of you not fighting?
That moment hit hard, and Marquise wasn't about to stay quiet. He went off on Instagram, writing a raw and emotional post that pulled back the curtain on just how deep the hurt runs. "Now y'all see," he wrote. "I tried to reach out to my pops as a man, both in front of the world and behind the scenes." Then he dropped a bomb. "I don't even have a phone number for you. You've had me blocked on social media for years, so I can't even DM you. And all the people we both know? They're too scared to even bring your name up around me. This seems to be the only way I can reach you." Marquise made it clear this wasn't about money. "I'm not a kid anymore. No mommy involved. I don't want or need your money. I stand on my own 2 feet." He said he's not chasing fame either. "I don't like attention. I've had so many chances to get that, and I passed every time." But what really stung was how he called out 50 for ducking accountability. "I saw the Breakfast Club interview, and there wasn't much accountability there. Just ego, blame, and talk about money. Like you're the kid in all this." And then came the part that broke everyone's heart. "Those texts you got, that was me. I was waiting outside for you. That was the day you broke my heart. I forgave you for it. He ended with, I'm ready when you're ready. Let's sit down and talk. But instead of responding, 50 went silent, just like always. And now, with all the heat between him and Big Meech, it looks like Marquise is going back to the only move he knows, jumping into his dad's public beefs to try and get his attention. But 50, he's not budging, not even a little. At this point, fans are starting to feel like 50 Cent's drama is less about music and more like a real-life soap opera. The way things are spiraling between him, his son, and the whole BMF circle, it's starting to feel like nobody's safe from the fallout. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get messier, insiders started whispering that 50's real beef with Big Meech might not even be about loyalty. It might be about control. Think about it. 50's name is all over the BMF show. He's the executive producer, the brand builder, the one pulling strings behind the scenes. But once Meech got out and started moving around on his own, with Rick Ross, with Tammy Cowens, he wasn't asking for 50's blessing anymore. That shift in power, that's what really set 50 off, according to some folks behind the scenes. It's not just about old street codes or who snitched on who. It's about who owns the story and who gets paid off it. 50 built the show, pushed it into the spotlight, and made Lil Meech a star. But now that Big Meech is out, there's a new dynamic, and 50 doesn't seem ready to share the spotlight or the profits. On top of all that, Lil Meech is caught in the middle, loyal to his pops, but trying to hold on to the fame and momentum that came from working with 50. It's a tightrope, and one wrong move could cost him everything. Meanwhile, fans are watching every move, waiting to see who's going to speak out next. Will Tammy finally drop that documentary 50 keeps teasing? Will Big Meech respond directly to the snitching rumors? Or will Marquise pop back up with more heat now that he's been pushed out the conversation again? The streets are buzzing, the internet's on fire, and this BMF versus 50 Cent feud is starting to feel like it's headed toward a public explosion, and nobody's walking away clean. So now that all the dirt's out in the open, we gotta ask, do you think 50 Cent is going way too hard on his own son? Or is Marquise crossing a line by throwing himself into drama that isn't his to begin with? Some people say 50's just protecting his name, his brand, and his bag. Others feel like he's holding on to old grudges and pushing away someone who clearly just wants a relationship with him. It's a tough situation, but the emotions on both sides are very real. And let's not forget, in the middle of all this tension is a business empire built on real-life crime, loyalty, betrayal, and power moves. So when family members start jumping in, it's not just personal, it's public. And in the 50's world, the line between entertainment and reality is paper thin. Marquise may have taken shots online, but it's clear that underneath the trolling and posts, there's just a son who wants his father's attention. Meanwhile, 50 keeps pushing forward, brushing off every plea with silence or sarcasm, and fans are left wondering if this feud will ever see peace. What do you think? Is 50 being too cold, or is Marquise out of pocket for dragging private family stuff into his father's beefs? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear it all, and if you made it this far, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with someone who's deep into celebrity drama like this. Oh, and don't dip just yet. The next video on your screen is packed with even more wild Hollywood mess that you don't want to miss. Click it now to dive into the next juicy scandal. See you on the next one.